Thank you for joining us. I'm Mary Yanez, Director of the Senior Adult Program at the El Paso Community College. And we have a great program planned out for you. We're going to be talking about the County Nutrition Program today. We're also going to be talking to a guest that's going to talk to us about water conservation. So we want to begin by introducing you to Claudia Jimenez, who I met recently, a couple of months ago. And we met over at Fabens at Canutillo. She's involved with the seniors out there in the rural areas. And wanted you to meet her, Claudia Jimenez, and thank you for being with us and taking time to come over here from your job.
Thank you for having me.
Claudia, tell us a little bit about your job and how you started your job this year and what you're doing and who do you work with?
So my name is Claudia Jimenez, how you mentioned it earlier, and I am the Nutrition Service Coordinator for the Canutillo Community Center and for the Fabens Community Center as well. Right now my focus is at Canutillo. I've been there for approximately 10 months now, so still fairly new to the program, but definitely have learned a lot within these last 10 months, have bonded very well with our seniors and our community out in Canutillo. Definitely a wonderful community. We enjoy our time every day, from 9 o'clock to 1 o'clock. We do have a noontime meal, which is from 11:30 to 12:30, and it is a balanced, healthy meal. Our seniors love it, but they don't just go for the meals. They also go to socialize, to interact with others, to really see what life is about, because you really make great memories there.
You came in like a fireball. I understand from Rosalba Hernandez and of course your co-workers, Carlos Reynoso, and others that work with you at the center, right? And there's volunteers as well.
Correct.
That help at Canutillo, which is where you're based right now.
Correct. We have wonderful volunteers. They're always willing to help, even if it's just passing out a snack, picking up their trays. They're always making sure that our seniors are always taken care of.
We had a wonderful program of teaching technology through a grant recently that was a tremendous success at Canutillo and at other rural centers. And so we're happy that we can be a part of helping seniors learn technology. But socialization, like you mentioned, is really important. And so how do we greet people? There are some centers that are like not as friendly. but tell me a little bit about your activities that you have aside from the meal, so that seniors can come out of their homes and they get isolated. They isolate themselves. They get depressed. They don't walk. They don't meet anybody. They don't talk. And sometimes they're alone. So tell me why socialization is so important and what activities you have.
So coming out of the pandemic, many of our seniors, we're still living in fear, still fearful of, getting COVID, or fearful of something worse to happen to them. So as our center, like I mentioned, when we open up, I usually put music on. There's always music playing. Usually I put like the classic songs, or maybe sometimes we're wanting to listen to the 60s or 70s, and it always brings back great memories. They start walking in, they listen to the music. Oh my goodness, I remember that song. Sometimes even songs that they hadn't heard in years, and it brings back, those beautiful memories that was my daughter's, or that was my sister's favorite song, or even their parents. Sometimes they recall those memories, and that's what brings a smile to their day. Yeah. And as we're coming in, we're always really greeting them. How was your day? How was it yesterday in the afternoon? What did you do? And we're always trying to make sure that we're here. We're here if you need to hear us. If we need to listen, you need to speak. We're here to listen.
Do you have games for them sometimes at the senior center?
Yes. So we do have bingo that we do like to play, usually on special events like our birthday celebration, which is once a month. And we like to celebrate everybody. Say, for instance, August, which would be this month, we'll celebrate everybody's birthday in August. And we'll have cake. And usually they'll always volunteer to bring something small, little fruit or a small side on. And we'll always put music, dance, and they always have a great time.
How important is inclusion for older adults, for the Canutillo community and other communities?
It's very important. We always try to make sure that every table there's at least 2 to 3 people sitting down to make sure that they're having conversations, that we're talking amongst each other and we get to know a little bit about everyone. There's always room to learn something new from someone. Anytime we have some bicycles there as well that we always encourage them to use. Come on, you want to do a little bit of oh yes,
the exercises.
Yes, and we kind of break the ice with that to where they're like, okay, thank you for including me. Also, we have different presentations that occur throughout the month that we're always constantly inviting them via text, in person. We're always trying to making sure that they're included. Did you get my message? Oh yes, but I wasn't able to make it. That's okay. Come to the next one. Or
yeah. How many participants do you have around this time?
Right now, our active participants, we have between 25 to 30.
And you want it to grow. You have space, right?
Yes, we have room for more.
Oh, good, good, very good. Because our border community is so diverse, that I'm wondering what's going on over there at Canutillo with the diversity, and that's kind of a large area over there on the west side.
Yes, so
Upper Valley.
We're always trying to celebrate as well holidays. 4th of July, I myself am very patriotic, and my seniors are as well. And we decorated the center, and everybody was so happy. We had our own 4th of July celebration, our hot dogs. We didn't have fireworks, but we had a little dance and music, and it was great. So I'm always trying to make sure that we also celebrate all the holidays in between,
Veterans and...
Yes, everyone. Let's celebrate everyone.
English, Spanish, and any other language that
National Pie Day, we're going to celebrate it.
Oh, very good. So that's the diversity of our community, and you have English speakers, English only speakers, Spanish only speakers, but everybody mingles and has a good time.
We learn how to communicate with each other.
That's wonderful. The experiences of every person, in particular older adults, are very valued. And seniors find ways to share their experiences with their buddies or new friends or new people that they meet. And they're always willing to share their experiences. Tell me about your center and why are sharing experiences important?
Well, I think that's what creates a bond amongst ourselves. There's always great stories to listen to. They either from the military or when they were young. There's also many that state that they recall the center when their grandparents used to come. Like, I remember my mom, and they'll look around and, they'll remember, like, I remember my mom used to come here and she would bring our program has been up and running for over 50 years, so we just recently celebrated our 50-year anniversary. So bringing back those memories and now them being participants, so they're, yes, so it's always great to listen to their stories. Also, we have a few that are military, that are veterans, and they'll always, they have memories to come back. When I was in the military, this and this happened, and sometimes good and sometimes, sad stories, but it's nice to really get to know.
That's wonderful, and that's through shared experiences, and that's a place to share. They feel safe. They're with their peers, and the community in Canutillo is a small community, kind of, but it also includes the west side. Okay. And I'm just wondering, where is it located at Canutillo?
So it's right next to Gallegos Park. On Bosque Road, we have our facility. It's a small little facility, but everybody always refers it, are you by Gallegos Park? Right at Gallegos Park. So we actually sometimes even use Gallegos Park to do our physical activity classes, which the last one was called Walk and Talk. And they would go out to the Gallegos Park after their meal and they would walk for a little bit and come back, and they felt so well. They felt so energized to go home and, okay, now I'm going to go home and do my house duties. And so it's always great, but yes, right by Gallegos Park.
Yes. Are there more women than men at the center these days? It's usually what happens.
Yes, but I do still have a good handful of men that do participate, and they enjoy it, and they enjoy the meals too. The meals are very good. So
very, very good. What are your plans? What kinds of things would you like to provide at the center at Canutillo community for that community? What are your plans? What would be something that you'd like to accomplish?
Well, we definitely, as a community center, we're always speaking about, what's our next event coming up? What's our next activities that we should bring in? They definitely really want more technology classes. They keep asking for more. They want to be a little more savvy because their grandkids are, they're a lot smarter on their phones. They're like, my grandchild gave me this phone and I don't even know how to move it. So they're always wanting to, become a little more educated in the technology world. And we also want to have more arts and crafts.
Arts
Classes.
and crafts.
Yes, that's something that we slightly started, but we want to bring it back and be consistent in it.
One of the things that I wanted to share with you, I'm going to go check it out. At Wellington Chu Senior Center, there's an instructor that teaches recycle arts. So you pick up all things that people throw away and you make artistic things out of it. You make art out of it. Wouldn't that be an interesting one?
Yes.
Because I know we can go pick up some
Yes.
in the yards. I know you have a participant that has a collection. His home is like a museum,
Yes.
a collection of items that he's collected over the years. It's just something fun to think about, but I'll talk to you about that later. So how can people contact you, Claudia? I'm going to give your name again. Claudia Jimenez, who is the Nutrition Service Coordinator at the Canutillo Senior Center. And you're also over at Fabens, I believe, right?
Correct.
So how can they contact you? You have a number.
Yes, they can call our main office, which is 915-273-3498, and we can go ahead and guide them in the right direction in getting registered. We would need them to get registered. Once they're registered, their application is valid for a whole year, so they can start enjoying the meals and the activities. All of our activities are free, including our bicycles, the use of our bicycles, and we're always trying to bring in different presentations, resources to them.
Thank you for being here, Claudia, and for spending time with us here on Mature Living. And we'll be right back with another guest.
Hi, my name is Yvette Lugo. I'm the director for the Rio Grande Area Agency on Aging, and I'd like to invite you to attend our 23rd annual Aging to Perfection Expo, scheduled for September 11th from 9 to 2 at the El Paso Convention Center. This event is our way of trying to bring together all information to support the needs of older adults, family caregivers, adult children caring for aging parents. And so we invite you to join us to learn more about the resources available to you, take part in health screenings, maybe take a flu shot, but really more importantly, just to educate yourself on what's available to support the needs as we continue to age. Please join us. Thank you.
Thank you for staying with us here on Mature Living. I'm Mary Yanez, Director of the Senior Adult Program, and as promised, we're going to talk about water conservation. So important for El Paso and many, many communities. And so we've invited Jennifer Barr. She's a water conservation and tech H2O manager. That's a big title, Jennifer. And she is an El Pasoan, a long time in El Pasoan, but we want to hear a little bit more about her because she represents the El Paso Water Company. And also we want to find out a little bit about what you do, where you've been, and where you are now in your job.
Well, thank you again for having us. We think water conservation is obviously near and dear to the El Paso water, and we can't emphasize enough how we appreciate that the community is conserving water already, but we'll always have those little bits of things that we can do for conserving even more in the future. But you asked about a little bit of my background. So I left El Paso. I was never coming back, and the events changed a little bit. I came back when I was in my mid-20s and got a job here and was really happy that I made that decision to come back. I started working for El Paso Water actually just a couple of years ago. So I spent most of my career as a landscape architect and irrigator. And the irrigation side of things is what brought me to and always held me with water and water conservation and how we can do better in our desert surroundings. So I started with El Paso Water as the water conservation manager and Tech H2O manager. It is a long title.
Oh, it is.
About a year and a half, it'll be in October, it'll be 2 years.
Well, you're in the perfect job.
Yes.
Because you're helping our community. And now you're going to educate us, right? You're going to tell us a little bit about smart water tips. I love that, smart water tips for our homes and how we as residents, have a responsibility to conserve water. And I know we have our watering days and lots of stuff, but tell me a little bit about these tips.
Right, and sometimes you want to conserve, but you don't know exactly how. So at the Tech H2O Center, which houses the Conservation Department, we're located on Montana, just between Yarborough and George Dieter. And we are open 8 to 5, Monday through Friday. And we have these great examples of water conservation. We have exhibits. You can bring your grandkids. You can bring your kids and learn about water conservation, learn about our water resources. We have something called the Water House, and it's little tips here and there on how to conserve water. So we provide that education to children, but also to adults. And we provide that information for indoor water use and also outdoor water use. So indoors, some of the changes are habits, right?
Yes,
Turn off the water as you're brushing your teeth.
Yes,
turn off the water as you're washing your hands, right?
I've had to remind myself several times where I leave the water running while I'm brushing. Turn it off, brush your teeth, then turn it back on.
And so that's a good example because we've been told our whole lives, right? I mean, at this age, I've been told I don't know how many times to do certain things, but every once in a while, that little reminder, even from our grandchild or our child, cause us to, remember, oh yeah, okay, they're, only running the washing machine when there's a full load. I should do the same. Or they're washing dishes a certain way, I should do the same.
Sometimes I'll hear the toilet running, running. Oh, I have to jiggle it or whatever, just things that we have to be aware of.
Right.
It's interesting that you speak about where you're located, the water conservation, I don't know what you call it.
Tech H2O, Water Resource Learning Center.
That's a long one. But 2 of our classes that have been learning technology from the Valley, one from, I believe, Fabens, visited. They loved it.
Right, along with the K. Bailey Hutchison desalination plant, which is right alongside us.
Yes, and then also another group that's from Socorro that I think are also planning another field trip. And that's good. We need to do more of that.
Yeah, they had a great time.
You were there.
I had a great time with them, actually.
Good, I'm glad. And I bet you spoke Spanish with them too.
A little bit, yeah.
Okay,
so the smart water tips. Any other smart water tips?
So there are habits, but there are also things that we can purchase. So we do have I think we'll talk about rebates later, but there are little things that you can purchase that change the way that we do things. So having a water hose with a shutoff valve, or something where we control how much water is going out. We have something that we do is we provide at the center as giveaways are aerators that go on your faucet, control the amount of water that's being put out, but it puts out the water in a way that it feels good on your hands, or it feels like a lot of water, but it's really not. We give away shower heads, low water use shower heads. And sometimes we have some other things that we're also giving away at the.
And so, do you go to events to talk about water conservation?
We do.
There's going to be a biggie one in September.
Yes.
Are
So
you gonna
we go to as many community events as we can. We take our water wheel. So you're welcome to step up to our water wheel anytime at any public event, and we'll ask you questions like, how much fresh water is there in the world?
Okay.
And people will answer the question, and then we'll give them a little bit of a prize. But we also have in September, we have special events at our center as well,
yeah,
right?
Yeah,
So quarterly, we have events that we call School Break series, our School Break Discovery series, and again, great for grandkids. It's always at a time that school is not in session. We try to make sure that it's not in session for at least a couple of the larger school districts. And so we have these are kind of fun activities, especially for younger kids. They're more artistic. Maybe we incorporate water conservation and water learning into those activities, but it's just a fun day. We have those quarterly, and those are on our website at techh2o.org. So it's TECH2O.org. But we also have a couple of larger events annually. And I think you were thinking about our September event, which is the Waterfest.
Yes.
It's kind of a cultural exploration of water, and lots of fun things to do, activities, musical instruments made of water, maybe poetry or art that incorporates water into that. And it's a great day of food trucks, and we'll be out there, and we get performers to come in, and
Very
we
nice.
have a great
We'll have
time.
to go. We'll have to plan to go to that.
Yeah.
And we need to also be conscious of desert landscaping, right? That is important as a homeowner to try to. I have a pine tree in front of my house, and it's like huge, but it takes water. Those pine trees are used to Ruidoso or other places where it rains and it snows, and and I try to say, well, how do I keep this from drying up?
Right. Deep watering and infrequent. So we
Infrequent.
say that a lot. I mean,
Deep watering and
infrequent. So trees, trees are the depth of their roots can be, 24 inches plus, usually between 24 inches and 36 inches. And so you want to make sure that you water to that depth. So that
and then stop.
Yes. Well, yeah. Don't waste the water.
Yeah.
Don't give too much back to
Very
the
good.
earth.
Let's talk about rebates.
Yes.
Ooh, that is so important. We've got a flyer we're going to put up on the screen. Tell me about the new rebates for smart irrigation.
Sure. So I talked about how there's habits that we can change to save water, but we also have incentives that we give to help you save water. So if you have a toilet that's wasting water, or it's a very old toilet and uses a lot of water every time it flushes, you can replace that toilet, apply for a $50 rebate from El Paso Water, and it will go directly back on your bill. And that's up to two toilets per home.
Very good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
they cost about $99 or $100.
yeah, depending. And so the toilet has to be WaterSense certified,
Okay.
so that we can make sure that it's it's a lower flow toilet.
I like that some businesses, you press a button and the water flows and then it shuts off. And you say, oh, that's enough to rinse. I don't have to leave that faucet on.
Right.
But you press those are good faucets for businesses.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, public places.
Right, right.
Anyway, so what other ones do you have?
You mentioned that. Well, no, I'll stay on rebates.
Okay.
I don't want to jump around too much. So we have also an irrigation controller rebate. So there are irrigation controllers that are kind of, let's say they're the old type of controller. You schedule them for certain days of the week watering, maybe, and certain times. And as you mentioned, we have 3 days of the week that are available for us to water. So if we're even numbered house, or a house ending in an even number, it's Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. And if they're odd numbers, it's Wednesday, Friday, Sunday. But you don't have to water 3 days a week. So I always emphasize that. A lot of people set their timers for 3 days a week, but really, it's often 2 days a week or 1 day a week
is
that
fine.
you need to water. Yeah. So so the new type of timers are so-called water smart timers. They're often weather based and or ET based. So they take into account the weather, how much water your plant is going to use, and they kind of make that determination of how much to water and when. So those timers are rebated right now at the amount of $75 per timer, which is almost the full cost of some of those timers.
Wow. And then also the time of the day we should water.
Right. Yes. So we
early
have
morning?
between April and September. You cannot water between 10 a.m. and 6 p.m.
Okay,
Yes,
that is not
sorry
a good
about
time
that.
to water.
Yeah.
Early in the morning or late in the evening, so it would be
Exactly.
better.
Yes.
Okay, and so you have the washing machine rebate.
Right. We also have a washing machine rebate. Washing machines are not WaterSense certified, but they are Energy Star certified. So if they're Energy Star certified, those will qualify for our rebate as well. When they're Energy Star certified, they're often also water saving as well.
Yes.
So.
I used to think I used to have to fill up that washing machine to the top. You don't. You just have to have just the right amount to cover the
Right.
clothes.
So the new washers, we always say, yes, make sure you fill, make sure you don't run either the dishwasher or the washer, or the clothes washer until it's full.
Yes.
But with the new washers, you're correct. They adjust the amount of water for the amount of clothes that you have in them.
Very good. And are you planning any upcoming events and where they can call also?
Yes, certainly. We have our Grows events with the Master Gardeners, and we have a couple more upcoming, one in Spanish, a couple more in English, and they can go to the El Paso Master Gardeners website to look at those, or our website at techh2o.org. We'll have our calendar events and has those programs as
Beautiful.
well.
And where they call you as well?
Oh, I'm sorry, yes, 915-621-2000.
Thank you so much, Jennifer, for taking time from your busy schedule to be here. Jennifer Barr has been with us, today, and we appreciate all the great tips that she's given us, and we're going to have to change some habits, okay? We all can help. We all can put in a little help to help conserve water. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
And that's it for this week. We'll see you all next week on Mature Living.